As you can see today, or to be more specific, not see today, I am M. Price, and I am surrounded by my CD collection. As you can see, it's rather extensive. I started collecting CDs while I was in high school, and I've just, I don't know, I guess I'm too young for records, but too old for digital music. I have a lot of stuff on digital right now, but unfortunately you can't really show someone, your digital collection, or you don't have a nice display or anything like that. And I just love the feel of actually having, something you can hold and open up and, put in your radio, anything like that. So having digital, it just doesn't really do it for me. Unfortunately, a lot of artists nowadays only release stuff digitally, or, you can only stream, which is not very good if you ask me. But I just wanted to show you my CD collection while I could amass it for you today. And before this started, I actually had a bit of a Jenga moment, because I had all these, set up, and then they collapsed on me, and it was very, very sad, but we persevered and we put it back together again. They're loosely organized. There's even a few rows in the front, just because these only go so high, and I don't want to stack them too high and have another collapse again. So we're just going to work our way through the collection. I'm not going to attempt to look at a CD and then put it back, because that'll just be another disaster waiting to happen. So as I look at them, I'll just set them off to the side, and we'll gradually diminish our great CD mountain. Anyway, I hope you can enjoy the little show and tell I'm going to have. And without further ado, let's begin. Let's just start up here. Oh God, it's already slipping. With the, yes, we have Men I Trust. Up here, I was actually just recently on a vacation to go see a Men I Trust concert. We have their first CD, just titled Men I Trust. We have Headroom. And then we have their Forever Live session. Now, you may be wondering, Price, aren't there two more Men I Trust CDs? And you'd be correct, because there are two more. There's the Uncle Jazz and the Untourable album. Well, unfortunately, on our drive up to Minneapolis to go see them, we put the CDs in our CD player, and they actually got stuck in there. So currently we are without those two CDs, and we're hoping to maybe get some pliers or a knife and slide them out. Who knows? Maybe we'll just have to cut the car in half to get at them. Alright, next we have two CDs that go together. We have Mac Miller's Swimming and Circles. Circles is obviously that posthumous release. It would have been Swimming in Circles had he been alive, but that's all good. We still have his music. And I don't know how long I can talk about each of these CDs, because I have, last I checked, it's about 250, in the area of 250, and even if I did just a minute on each CD, that's how many hours? 4 hours, Probably not feasible. We have our Thundercat CDs. Drunk. It Is What It Is, and Apocalypse. I just saw Thundercat in Colorado 2 weeks ago, the week before Midnight Trust, so that was very fun as well. Let's try to make a little hole here for us to demonstrate CDs better. We have the Kamasi Washington, the Epic, and then Earth and Heaven. What is really fun about his work is this is a 3 CD set, and this is a double CD set. You get a real bang for your buck with him. Okay, let's get all these guys at once. These all work together. Oh no, never mind. We have to get Tyler the Creator first. Otherwise these will slip in, and we really don't want another disaster. Alright. So we have Wolf. We have Goblin. Yeah, I'm only looking at the back, sorry. We have Cherry Bomb. We have Flower Boy. And we have my personal favorite of his, Igor, however you pronounce it. He pronounces it Igor, but I've always pronounced it Igor, so I guess I'm wrong. As you'll find, I often am. Okay, now we can get to this little section. And now we have a little window to look at each other through. Isn't that fun? Alright, we'll start actually. This requires a bit of an explanation because this is Empire of the Sun. We have Walking on a Dream, Ice on the Dune, and then it's 2 Vines, isn't it? Who knows? Who cares? This one's forgettable. And this was made up of Luke Steele and Nick Littlemore. And they actually had 2 bands before they met up in Empire of the Sun. Nick had Panow, which we have, I believe it's Soft Universe. And then their Elton John versus Panow album where they collaborated with Elton John and worked on remixed some of his older songs. And then Luke Steele had a band called The Sleepy Jackson, which we have, I believe it's Lovers. I wanted to say Good Dancers, but it's Lovers. And we have Personality. One was a spider, one was a bird. We'll go up here. We have the Black Keys, El Camino. The Black Keys, Turn Blue. Tame Impala, Inner Speaker. Tame Impala, I don't need to look. Oh god, I need to look. Lonerism, god, that's my favorite one of his too. How did I forget that? And then of course Currents and The Slow Rush. This wasn't as, I don't think, memorable as some of his other ones, but you may differ. Little piece of M. Price history here. We have, back when I was really young, this is actually probably middle school maybe, before my collection really started, when I would have my dad download something online and then he would make a CD copy for me. We have Apple Kindergarten Jazz, Out of My Head, and Head Amongst the Clouds by Movitz, which is like this Swedish jazz hip-hop group that happened to be on the Colbert Report one day. And I was trying to be this indie cool middle schooler, so I was like, I want to listen to them. And I want to be cool like them. So it's either these guys or Muse, I think was my first. They may actually have been Muse, but we'll get to them later. Okay, let's just, jeez, I'm having PTSD the entire time I'm doing this. I'll tell you what. We'll have our George Carlin section. I love George Carlin. He's one of my favorites. I take a lot of inspiration from him. These are his comedy albums. So, we have Class Clown. You Are All Diseased. advisory explicit lyrics. What am I doing in New Jersey? Jamming in New York. Back in town. Life is worth losing, which is a huge inspiration for me for my book, but I mean, I'm not trying to make a video about my book. We're talking about CDs here. There's another big title, Complaints and Grievances. No, I just had a big backing, not a big title. And it's bad for you. A lot of George Carlin. Love that guy. Alright, let's get this big obstruction out of the way. If you've seen a previous video of mine, link somewhere else, you'll know that I'm a huge David Bowie fan, and that I have most of his work. So this is the David Bowie Brilliant Adventure. If you wanted more David Bowie information, I could rant about him for, an hour, which I believe I did in my other video. So if you do want more info about him, go ahead and take a look there. But we have No Plan, Black Star, The Next Day, we have Low, which is one of my favorite albums ever. We have Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. We have Lodger. We have Let's Dance. And Aladdin Sane. Hunky Dory. Young Americans. Yes, I have a lot of David Bowie. Heroes. Station to Station. Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Diamond Dogs. The Man Who Sold the World. Heathen. And Reality. And before you say or ask, whoa, did David Bowie literally mostly take up one entire pillar of your collection? Yes. Yes, he did. Believe it or not, I'm actually really into rap music. I don't know if that's just because I'm a millennial or white trash, but these entire sections over here are all rap. I had it loosely organized into, rock, different subgenres of rock. It's the kind of folk I have. More rock, comedy, classical, rap. And the front would be like the indie, some of the indie, random, just more eclectic stuff, or the older stuff as well. So we'll just dip our toes into rap here, mostly to just get these giant towers out of our head. We have Lead Poison by the rapper Elja. Onerology by the group The Cunning Linguists. And yes, you heard that right. We have some very large CDs that actually irritate me, because when you're trying to make a CD shelf and a CD desk, they should all be the same size. But we have Black Milk, No Poison, No Paradise, and Hell Below. It is the Hell Below, right? If there's a Hell Below. We have, I forget who these guys are, Cellar Door, Terminus Un Exordium by the Underachievers. Yeah, I like one of their digital albums better, Clockwork Indigo, but that was these guys plus Flatbush Zombies. Flatbush Zombies also only has like digital stuff. A lot of digital people out there irritating me. Oh god, it just kind of jiggled a bit. I don't like that. We have, not one of my favorite rappers, but just one of my favorite personalities, Action Bronson. We have Well Done, and then Mr. Wonderful. J-Rock 90059. I should have put him with the rest of the Top Dog Entertainment group, but like I said before, this whole thing collapsed and I kind of lost my organization, but it's okay. Revolutionary number 2 by Immortal Technique. He has a lot more CDs and I've listened to him and I like them, but they're very hard to come by, at least, where I live. But that's our guy, Immortal Technique. We have one of my favorite artists ever, Outkast. We have AT-Aliens. Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. So good. Speaker Box and The Love Below. This is Speaker Box, of course. And then we got Love Below right there. You and I, Aquemini. Aquemini is so good. I knew a guy in college at my radio station who really liked Aquemini, and he was like studying it and really breaking it down. That was kind of fun. Fun to hear his ideas about it, at least. And then, of course, Stankonia. These guys are the best, and oh god, for a long time I just listened to nothing but these guys, or even just, their beats and their background music is even just incredible too, and their lyricism is off the charts, and they're good. No Trip to Dog City would be complete without one of the original dogs himself, that being Snoop Dogg. Got Doggy Style. We got his random, like club funk album, Bush. The Documentary. My life is kind of like a documentary. Then we have RNG, Rhythm and Gangsta, and the Blue Carpet Treatment. Why do I have Snoop Dogg CDs? Once again, because I'm white trash. Not bashing Snoop Dogg, I love the guy. But when you see like a 145-pound, me, basically, you kind of assume I'm white trash, but that's okay. I accept your assumptions. Alright, we have Kendrick Lamar. Let me get him into order real quick. There we go. Kendrick Lamar, also one of my favorites, one of my top shelf people. I usually have my CDs on my desk, and the top shelf is reserved for like the best, so like, Men I Trust, and Empire of the Sun, David Bowie, Tyler the Creator, Mac Miller, Kamasi Washington, Thundercat, Cannibal Ox, and Kendrick Lamar, Outkast, the best. So we have Section 80. Good Kid, Mad City, the deluxe edition, of course. To Pimp a Butterfly, and it's sort of, I think, the additional, almost extra bonus of it, Untitled Unmastered, which is still, frankly, one of my favorite album covers ever. It's just blank. This Exorcist Puke Green. Then we have Damn. And then, let me see if I can get it right. It's Mr. Morale, and I always want to call Mr. Morale the High Steppers, because the High Steppers is this group where I live. But it's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I did not even on here. Wait a second. It is the Big Steppers. Oh, I was correct. I feel good about myself now. Oh man, there he is. Happy Poctober, motherfuckers. You got to. We have Me Against the World. All Eyes on Me, one of my absolute favorite Clips. Shout out to October, by the way. Link is somewhere. Watch that video too. Tupacalypse Now. And then, not technically by Tupac, but rather by Machiavelli, we have Seventh Day Theory, Don Illuminati. Bring it through your body like a 12-gauge shotty. Alright, sorry. Huge inspiration for Snoop Dogg and every other rapper to ever live. Slick Rick. This is, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. And then Behind Bars. I love how you can see that. It's just Rick, against like a green screen, probably just loving life. He's a fun guy. Yeah. Oh, Slicky Ricky. Dude, T-Pain here. Oh, yeah. We got Revolver or Evolve, whatever you want to say. Kind of both. Or the pre-Volve or the mixtape. I have a lot of mixtapes as well, which of course aren't physical CDs, but only, online. And then the happy hour, the greatest hits. Usually I hate greatest hits CDs, but yeah, the T-Pain will make you do crazy stuff. Alright, I feel like we've made it down a layer. That's very good. While I was moving my CDs off to the side to the floor, my David Bowie stack collapsed again as I was turning off my camera to restart my 12-minute intervals. And I had a panic attack as it just all came running back. Speaking of panic attacks, fun story, maybe. I actually have a lot of Bill Cosby CDs that me and my friend before Bill Cosby, he was still doing it, people just didn't know. We saw him live, actually, one of his live shows, and then I'm not exaggerating, the next week is when all of it just came out, and all of the disaster came out, and then we were like, oh my god, that's crazy, and of course everyone didn't really know what was real or what wasn't, and then as the damning evidence came out more and more and more, I was just I don't know if I like listening to these anymore, or think they're funny anymore, or enjoy them. So I tried taking them to because I actually have, believe it or not, I have cut down on my CD collection, and I've taken it to the local used store. And I remember every time I go, I try to sell these. And the first time he's like, yeah, we've had a lot of people coming in trying to sell those. We're totally, stocked on them. And yeah, but for anyone who's interested, please buy these off of me. But I started out as a child. Why is there air? Wonderfulness. 200 miles per hour. The best of Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby is a very funny fellow, right? And a very creepy fellow. Yeah, but I just never really connected with a lot of straight up comedians. I would funny people, but I never really found myself listening to pure comedy albums or shows unless it was George Carlin or Bill Cosby. But not Bill Cosby anymore. Woohoo. Okay, let's see who we got here. Okay, we have the Steep Canyon Rangers, probably one of the first concerts I saw live, actually. Kind of a bluegrass group. We have Deep in the Shade, Love and Pretty Women, One Time at a Time, Tell the Ones I Loved, and what's this? What's this? Is it an autographed copy of Nobody Knows You, signed by Mike Giugino, Nikki Sanders, and I think it's Woody Platt. Yeah, just a W. I don't care. I mostly wanted Nikki Sanders and Mike Giugino, because I played violin for a long time. and Nikki Sanders was the violinist, and I actually have a mandolin as well, and I've kind of tried to play around with it. That's because Mike Giugino on mandolin was amazing. And yeah, I think I'm going to do some mandolin videos, maybe later on. It'll be kind of fun. Kind of in that same vein, back when I had, just my dad rep CDs for me, and I can tell that this CD came loose in the Jenga Tower Cataclysm. I have Common Faults by, that's the album title, I think. Oh God, is it the album? The Silent Comedy is the group. Yes, it is the album title. And then Dead Man's Bones by the band Dead Man's Bones, including the song Dead Man's Bones. I highly, highly, highly recommend looking this up, especially considering, that it is Halloween time. Because this is like a Halloween album made by Ryan Gosling. Yeah, Ryan Gosling can sing and make music, and that's just fantastic. Please look it up. It's so good. All right. Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. I really like Shine On You, Crazy Diamond, because it's like, half an hour long, and then Dark Side of the Moon, come on. Let's Show My Angsty Side by demonstrating that I have all of Nirvana's albums. I guess not their really, really early stuff, but I have Bleach, Nevermind, In Utero. And then what I actually think, people always debate, what's their best work? Honestly, I think their MTV Unplugged is their best work. It's so good and so raw. Even though I love David Bowie, Kurt Cobain's rendition of Man Who Sold the World is superior. And I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. I'm going to move Electric Wizard up here temporarily just because I spot Marissa Nadler. And she is, I guess, in the vein of, the country-ish stuff, the folk stuff. So we have July. It is July, right? Strangers, and then For My Crimes. Marissa Nadler is one of those artists who, she's amazing. But even just listening or reading off, the track list will make you depressed. Dead City, Emily, I've Got Your Name, Was It a Dream, Anyone Else, Nothing in My Heart, Hungry is the Ghost, Divers of the Dust, All the Colors of the Dark, Shadow Show, Diane, Nothing Feels the Same, Lover, Release Me, All Out of Catastrophes, just like, my God, lady, I love your music, but my God. Sigh, let's get this over with. Fun fact, believe it or not, I liked Lana Del Rey before she was cool, before she blew up. Because not trying to get my indie lore over you, but I have a love-hate relationship with Lana Del Rey because I first discovered her when Born to Die came out. Because I just saw it as like an Amazon release ad. And while I hated the first song, I loved the second song. Because it was only a few times, I listened to the first song, I was like, oh, that's trash, and I said, forget it. But I would keep seeing the ad over and over again, so I'm like, fine, whatever. And I listened to the second song, and I just loved the rest of the album. And then a few years later, she, kind of blew up and became a lot bigger. But, it wasn't quite like Lizzie Grant levels of early, but I think I was pretty early. And of course, Paradise. And one of my favorite albums ever, Ultraviolence, and just an iconic album for my youth, I suppose. I listened to this so much. And then she started getting really tacky, and God, Honeymoon, it's fine, but every song on Honeymoon is the exact same, and I dare you to fight me on it. Then we have Lust for Life, which is just like whiny, and she's trying to pretend to be like edgy and cool. Never ever did I think I'd have, the N-word in a Lana Del Rey album as well. some of the features just kind of came out of nowhere. And then we have Norman fucking Rockwell, which is the proof that she has fallen from grace, because this album is just like, yeah, get with it, Lana. It used to be so good, and she's like an Instagram star now, you know. That's how I feel about her. She used to be like a great musician, and now she's just all about, you know, being with the trends and what will make her popular, and, you know, just, she's not interesting as an artist anymore whatsoever. What do I have time for before I have to go change the camera? Well, quick do Cannibal Locks. We got Blade of the Ronin right here, and then the Cold Vein. 13 years apart. They've only ever made these 2 albums. But Blade of the Ronin is one of my absolute favorites. One of my favorite albums ever. One of my favorite album covers. And I'm even going to be using this album in my Dungeons & Dragons campaign coming up, as a matter of fact. Some music for a boss fight, actually. It's hard to explain. It'll be fun, though. I like it. And God, look at this album art. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cool. So cool. Quick, J. Cole. Quick. Oh God, oh no. No, please, J. Cole, I'm sorry. We got Born Center. Forest Hill Drive. Definitely not about my life. What was this one? For Your Eyes Only. Sideline Story, and then KOD. Anyone my age has to know about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. They're the 2 best ever. People kind of have their preferences or compare him to Biggie and Tupac. Tupac, or Kendrick being more like Tupac, J. Cole being more like Biggie, just in like terms of style and delivery. I love them both. I'd probably do like Kendrick Lamar more. That's all I have to say about that. Forest Hill Drive came out at a very pivotal time in my life, and I love it dearly. One of the other albums of my youth, you could say. One of the songs, and there happened to me in real life. I'll let you guess which one it was. Alright, lightning round. We have God's Fury by Outer Space. Legacy of Blood by Jedi Mind Tricks. Servants in Heaven, Kings in Hell. Yeah, by Jedi Mind Tricks. The Thief and the Fallen by Jedi Mind Tricks. God of the Serengeti by Vinny Paz. And Death Reborn by Army of the Pharaohs. Heavy Lies the Crown by Army of the Pharaohs. Honky Kong by Apathy. Weekend at the Gate by Apathy. Good, we got a stack done. I'm running out of time here, so I gotta just keep quick go. Believe it or not, Rick Ross used to be like my favorite guy ever, as well as like he's just an eternal meme for my friend group. So I do have like all of Rick Ross's CDs. Port of Miami 2. Rather You Than Me. Black Market and Black Dollar. I think this is actually just a mix. This is like the first mixtape I ever bought, because I was basically tricked into buying it little high school price. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot buying something that was really free. And someone just obviously repackaged, to trick people like me. But you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna keep it. Because I've tried getting rid of that, and like some of the stuff I've like sold, it's like, you probably shouldn't sell that. But like that's the one they did catch when I tried selling that, and they were like, we're not taking this. I'm like, wow. So you'll take the other stuff, but not this goofy mixtape. Whatever. Hood Billionaire, Mastermind, one of the first Rick Ross CD I bought. Only the second rap CD I ever bought, next to All Eyes on Me by Tupac. God Forgives, I Don't. Rick Ross's obvious best album, and this is the deluxe edition with the original album cover right there. Teflon Don, a classic. Deeper Than Rap. Dre, Predator. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. I'm like looking at the camera, trying to be cool. And remember the albums that I own. Life After Death by Biggie Smalls. This was a double-parter, two-parter. I've always wanted to get the CD for the Ready to Die, but all they have is like the remastered edition, and apparently it's just an atrocious rendition of it. So I will refuse to buy it until they come out with like a good one, or until I can locate like an original. Oh God. Sippy Gill and Hunters, which are Indian pop singers. I forgot those were in my rap stack. Don't worry about it, but look them up for sure. Alright, let's narrow down the classical music over here. This is like, what is this? There's like 100 best film score classics. We won this from like the local radio station, the classical music radio station. Rimsky-Korsakov, overtures and suites from his operas and whatnot. Korsakov is one of my favorites. Bach sonatas and partitas. Blah, I don't like Bach. But my violin teacher at one point made me get a Scheherazade by Korsakov. Scheherazade's lit. Oh yeah, Hilary Hahn, baby. That's some amazing work right here. Hilary Hahn's one of my favorites ever. I've met her in real life. My outfit conveniently matched her outfit because I met her actually after the concert. She was just hanging out, and of course we went with like a bunch of like nerdy music majors, and we were asking her questions, and no one else in the concert seemed to notice that Hilary Hahn was just standing by herself, like waiting for questions and for photos, and no one was talking to her. So we went over and talked to her forever, and they're all asking her like, the usual, how many hours do you practice a day? Or technique questions, or just, boring stuff I'm sure she's heard forever. And I wanted to be unique. So I was like, Hilary Hahn, what's your favorite kind of pizza? And like, it was almost like I asked her like the most embarrassing question ever, because she turned red and didn't know what to say, and just kind of like silently mumbled to her, like, it almost like was under her breath. She's just like, pepperoni, like oh my God, someone asking me a real like human question. And I made her giggle, and she like giggled and like seemed to actually enjoy, I don't know, answering it, or maybe I'm just a creep, who knows. And as I walked away back to the music major friends, they were like, what'd you ask her? And I'm like, don't worry about it, you wouldn't get it. Then I have 6 string quartets of Bartok, which I stole from a music camp because they were very mean to me, and I like Bartok, and I'm a kleptomaniac. Then I have a CD suspiciously titled Volume 1. I have an inkling of what this may be, but we'll put it in actually as I'm putting this all away. Alright, now the rock and metal section. Electric Wizard, one of my favorite albums ever. Witch Cult Today, good one. Dope Throne, also very good. Black Masses, I definitely cannot open the CD case of this because the CD has a very naughty picture on it. Susie and the Banshees, like I said before, I don't really like greatest hits stuff. I just think they're kind of cheesy, but sometimes it's all you can get if you want to listen to someone. The 3-album collection for Sisters of Mercy. Get them all here. First and Last and Always, Floodland, and then Vision Thing. Floodland and First and Last and Always are the best. Vision Thing's okay. But I'm also going to be using these for my D&D campaign as well. Gonna be a fun one. I've seen these guys alive as well. One of the best experiences of my life, the Amity Affliction. I also saw it, with a friend who's, no longer with us, but whatever. It's fine. This could be heartbreak. Let the ocean take me. Misery. They only love you once you leave them. I'll show the back of it. Chasing ghosts. I know that I'm usually not one to censor something, but yeah, I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I have like the original cover case for this, which has since been like removed because it's like, I guess, explicit, I suppose, or people complained that it was too disturbing. And I don't want to get in trouble, especially just starting out on YouTube, so I won't show it. But yeah, Chasing Ghosts, original album art. Look it up. It's not that bad, but I mean, some people probably would not want to see it, so. Then Youngbloods. We have In This Moment, who I saw recently and who just released their new CD, God Mode, which, I'll be, I'm sure, picking up soon. We have Mother. Ritual. Blood, 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 blood. They say it 10,000 times, much to the irritation of one of my coworkers. Then Star-Crossed, Wasteland, and Black Widow. She was amazing seeing live, and she even blew us all a kiss after the concert ended because we were her favorite, audience ever. We saw them and Motionless in White together. I don't have any Motionless in White CDs. Probably in the future. I don't know. I'm trying to cut back as well as I'm trying to move. So probably not going to be buying anything new for a while. And I generally just don't buy a lot of stuff now, even just because I listen to be honest, a lot of like ambient music. Just like relaxing, like Vaporwave or Mallsoft or City Pop, or just a lot of ambient lo-fi or non-lyrical stuff, just as background noise. I've just listened to all these CDs so much that, I'm not like tired of them, but sometimes it's easy to just focus more when you're not listening to something with lyrics, I guess. But Black Sabbath, Masters of Reality, Volume 4, and Paranoid. Yes, Paranoid. In terms of like a quick scale of my digital stuff, God, where do I even begin? I guess one of the reasons I actually wanted to get David Bowie, this will correlate, was because my dad was really obsessed with the Beatles, and he has all the Beatles stuff. And my mom is really obsessed with Elton John, and she has all the Elton John stuff. Oh God, I wanted to have someone who I had all the stuff for. Oh my God, again. So I picked David Bowie, and I think I mentioned this in my David Bowie video, but right as I bought like his first album and like discovered him and decided that he was going to be like my guy, he died the next day. So once again, I'm sorry I killed David Bowie. Speaking of Elton John, I'll quick brush these to the side because I do have some Elton John CDs that my mom has got gifted to me. Here, let me pick them out. Obviously, it's lesser known stuff. Stuff that I myself probably can't even name off the bat, because it is kind of just random. Oh God, alright. We have Reg Strikes Back, 1770, Empty Sky. This is just like a rare Masters collection thing, yeah. Live in Australia, Leather Jackets, Breaking Hearts, and he has, as you can see, this is all his probably isn't the best. We have Jump Up, like even just like look at him. Just so, it just seems wrong. 21 at 33, whatever that means. The Fox. Why? What? I don't know. I love her. I respect her. And yes, it's nice to have all the stuff. Well, I guess, I have what people would perceive to be the crappy David Bowie stuff, maybe. But, whatever. I have a lot of Elton John, too. Let's quick get these guys. Why not? Some more very best stuff. I love jazz. But it can be hard to acquire, in 2023. So that does kind of make you get, like, the best of collections. So I have, the best of Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald Gold, stuff like that. But I do have Frank Sinatra, Come Fly With Me and Come Dance With Me. And if you ever see, the jazz bikers out on the bike trails, I'm generally listening to one of those albums or any of my other jazz. Because I love jazz and I love jazz biking. Hence why I founded the Jazz Bikers. Co-founded, I suppose, sorry. Got Big Bad, Voodoo Daddy, Amy Winehouse. I love Amy Winehouse. That same coworker who complained about in this moment gives me a lot of grief for liking Amy Winehouse. But, screw him, what does he know? I'll get this stack back. Broken Bells After the Disco. And then Broken Bells, just their self-titled album, I believe. Yeah. This is all, the I'm a Millennial test music. AM, Arctic Monkeys. I must be jumbled up because I have my Afrobeat music, Fela Kuti, Zombie, and then Gentleman in Confusion. You should definitely look this up. Fela Kuti in the Africa 70. This guy's mother was actually murdered specifically for this album by the government where he lived because it's like, anti-government protest music in a very violent part of the world. So maybe he shouldn't have written it. Yeah, but, maybe governments shouldn't kill people. Yeah, he's an amazing artist. You should definitely check him out. This is called White Women. Yeah, White Women by Chromeo. I think I had some other Chromeo CDs I sold. Happy to You and Mike Snow by Mike Snow. I never got Genghis Khan. Or if that, maybe it wasn't called Genghis Khan, but their third album definitely had Genghis Khan in it. Glass Animals, Zappa. Everything they did after this was kind of mad to me. Then Sunny Moon by Anna Wise, who, is the female vocalist in any of the Kendrick Lamar stuff. Basically, if you listen to that, how I discovered her. She has her own independent stuff that's all digital, and then other Sunny Moon stuff, which is like her band, which is, of course, also digital. So that's the only physical album I have for her. The Eagles, Greatest Hits, and Hotel California. More gifts, I haven't bought all of these for myself. Most of them, but not all. Oh God. In Silico and Immersion by Pendulum. Back when, dubstep was a thing. Kind of embarrassing I still have those, but, it's all part of the experience of life. Let's quick get these guys out. I saw these guys at a college campus, concert. They were, very small and touring, and I ordered their work because they were just nice guys, and they even friended us on, Snapchat, whatever. And their music took, 3 months to get to us, But the band is called My Body Sings Electric, and it's, Changing Color, The Night Ends, and, the Franklin tapes. We made this record in our garage, and we don't care if you don't like it, Okay. Kind of fun. these guys. It's all falling. It's all collapsing on me. Here. Oh no. Muse, please. Alright. There we go. In stacks. Better to grab. Greatest hits of Tom Jones. Yeah, I know. A live edition of the Four Tops that I saw in like a dumpster bin at some point in like a garage sale. Best of the Bee Gees, best of ABBA, you know. More greatest hit stuff. Bjork's debut. Venus as a Boy is one of my all-time favorite songs. I basically just bought that to get Venus as a Boy. White Guy check, but I have Elvis. Elvis is back. Elvis live at the Madison Square Garden. It's 2 CDs, and each CD is like the exact same thing. Like, why bother? Whatever though. Elvis Presley, which has Elvis Presley and then Elvis. 2 albums. He had a lot of albums that were just like his name. And then Potluck. For some reason, one of his other random stuff that I somehow found. I think the actual first album I probably bought was Neo, Gear of the Gentleman. I think I bought this in elementary school because I saw the music video for Closer. So whenever that came out, I'd be that old. That would date me. But I just thought Closer was like the coolest song ever, and I wanted to be like the cool kids on the school bus. So I bought this album. You know, little baby M price. My dad drove me to Best Buy. Back when Best Buy still sold CDs, or when people even just bought CDs in general. So that's fun. Tuxedo by Tuxedo. Kind of a jazzy dance album. The Electric Lady by Janelle Monáe. Another CD my dad must have ripped for me at one point. It's Iron by Woodkid, as well as Rage Valley by another dubstep group, which I can't remember too long ago, but I have it. Glass Beach, right? Yeah. The first Glass Beach album by Glass Beach. It's literally called the first Glass Beach album. Saw them on Bandcamp one day. Thought they were pretty cool. Why not? Then we have our Anderson Pocket collection, because we have Venice, Malibu, Oxnard, Ventura, and then he teamed up with No Worries, or no, he teamed up with Knowledge to make the album No Worries. No, to form the group No Worries, and this is his album Yes Lord. You know, confusing. Anderson .Paak got the Dr. Dre bump, you could say. Much like a lot of other artists had in the past. Alright, quick. My camera's about to die. We only have these CDs left. We have Muse. They're one of the first groups I fell in love with. Muse, The Second Law. Muse, Black Holes and Revelations. Muse, Sing for Absolution, just Absolution. Muse, The Resistance, how I discovered them because they were on like a BBC Proms parade, and they had Uprising, and I was like, that's a cool song, I'm gonna like them because I'm gonna be a cool kid. And then Origin and Symmetry. These are like the only CDs I had for a long time, and all I listened to in my car. And I loved all of these four, and I never really much listened to this. And as I got older, I don't really much care for this anymore because I listened to them so much. But now this is the only one I really like, and probably one of my favorite albums ever. Drones has come out. I don't much care for Drones, but what's the newest one they just had? Will of the People. Will of the People's pretty good, and on my list to eventually buy. But anyway, my camera's about to die, so please don't shut off now. That was my CD collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you for an hour hours straight. But yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot digitally as well. A lot of mixtapes, a lot of free stuff from concerts, just everything. But I'm gonna finger flutter you out of here. As you know, I am M. Price. I can't read. I can also listen to music. I can do many things, as a matter of fact. Check out my playlist here, there, and everywhere. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. As you know, Dog City never sleeps. I hope that you may sleep.